Hello everyone, this is Grace from the Roselle Public Library. Today I will be reading Chapter 36 of Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi. Chapter 36. Pinocchio at last ceases to be a puppet and becomes a boy. While Pinocchio was swimming quickly toward the shore, he discovered that his father, who was on his shoulders with his legs in the water, was trembling as violently as if the poor man had an attack of ague fever. Was he trembling from cold or from fear? Perhaps a little both, the one and the other. But Pinocchio, thinking it was from fear, said to comfort him, "Courage, Papa! In a few minutes we shall be safely on shore." "But where is this blessed shore?" asked the little old man, becoming still more frightened, and screwing up his eyes as tailors do when they wish to thread a needle. "I have been looking in every direction, and I see nothing but the sea and the sky." "But I see the shore as well," said the puppet. "You must know that I am like a cat. I see better by night than by day." Poor Pinocchio was making a pretense of being in good spirits, but in reality he was beginning to feel discouraged. His strength was failing, he was gasping and panting for breath. He could do no more, and the shore was still far off. He swam until he had no breath left. Then he turned his head to Geppetto and said in broken words, "Papa, help me! I am dying!" The father and son were on the point of drowning when they heard a voice like a guitar out of tune saying, "Who is it that is dying?" "It is I and my poor father." "I know that voice. You are Pinocchio." "Precisely. And you?" "I am the tunny, your prison companion in the body of the dogfish." "And how did you manage to escape?" "I followed your example. You showed me the road, and I escaped after you." "Tunny, you have arrived at the right moment. I implore you to help us, or we are lost." "Willingly and with all my heart. You must, both of you, take hold of my tail and allow me to guide you. I shall take you on shore in 4 minutes." Geppetto and Pinocchio, as I need not tell you, accepted the offer at once, but instead of holding on by his tail, they thought it would be more comfortable to get on the tunny's back. When they reached the shore, Pinocchio sprang on land first so that he might help his father to do the same. He then turned to the tunny and said to him in a voice full of emotion, "My friend, you have saved my papa's life. I can find no words with which to thank you properly. Permit me at least to give you a kiss as a sign of my eternal gratitude." The tunny put his head out of the water, and Pinocchio, kneeling on the ground, kissed him tenderly. At this spontaneous proof of warm affection, the poor tunny, who was not accustomed to it, felt extremely touched, and ashamed to let himself be seen crying like a child. He plunged under the water and disappeared. By this time the day had dawned. Pinocchio, offering his arm to Geppetto, who had scarcely breath to stand, said to him, "Lean on my arm, dear papa, and let us go. We shall walk very slowly like the ants, and when we are tired we can rest by the wayside." "And where shall we go?" asked Geppetto. "In search of some house or cottage, where they will give us for charity a mouthful of bread and a little straw to serve as a bed." They had not gone 100 yards when they saw, begging by the roadside, 2 villainous-looking individuals. They were the cat and the fox, but they were scarcely recognizable. Fancy, the cat had so long feigned blindness that she had become blind in reality, and the fox, old, mangy, with one side paralyzed, had not even his tail left. That sneaking thief, having fallen into the most squalid misery, one fine day had found himself obliged to sell his beautiful tail to a traveling peddler, who bought it to drive away flies. "Oh, Pinocchio!" cried the fox, "give a little charity to 2 poor infirm people." "Infirm people!" repeated the cat. "Begone, impostors!" answered the puppet. "You took me in once, but you will never catch me again. Believe me, Pinocchio, we are now poor and unfortunate indeed." "If you are poor, you deserve it. Recollect the proverb, 'Stolen money never produces.' Begone, impostors!" And thus saying, Pinocchio and Geppetto went their way in peace. When they had gone another 100 yards, they saw at the end of a path, in the middle of the fields, a nice little straw hut with a roof of tiles and bricks. "That hut must be inhabited by someone," said Pinocchio. "Let us go and knock at the door." They went and knocked. "Who is there?" said a little voice from within. "We are a poor father and son without bread and without a roof," answered the puppet. "Turn the key and the door will open," said the same little voice. Pinocchio turned the key and the door opened. They went in and looked here, there, and everywhere, but could see no one. "Oh, where is the master of the house?" said Pinocchio, much surprised. "I am up here." The father and son looked immediately up to the ceiling, and there on a beam they saw the talking cricket. "Oh, my dear little cricket," said Pinocchio, bowing politely to him. "Ah, now you call me your dear little cricket. But do you remember the time when you threw the handle of a hammer at me to drive me from your house? You are right, cricket. Drive me away also. Throw the handle of a hammer at me. But have pity on my poor papa." "I shall have pity on both father and son, but I wish to remind you of the ill treatment I received from you, to teach you that in this world, when it is possible, we should show courtesy to everybody, if we wish it to be extended to us in our hour of need." "You are right, cricket, you are right, and I will bear in mind the lesson you have given me. But tell me how you managed to buy this beautiful hut." "This hut was given to me yesterday by a goat whose wool was of a beautiful blue color." "And where is the goat gone?" asked Pinocchio with lively curiosity. "I do not know." "And when will it come back?" "It will never come back. It went away yesterday in great grief, and bleeding it seemed to say, 'Poor Pinocchio! I shall never see him more. By this time the dogfish must have devoured him.'" "Did it really say that? Then it was she! It was she! It was my dear little fairy!" exclaimed Pinocchio, crying and sobbing. When he had cried for some time, he dried his eyes and prepared a comfortable bed of straw for Geppetto to lie down upon. Then he asked the cricket, "Tell me, little cricket, where can I find a tumbler of milk for my poor papa?" "3 fields from here there lives a gardener named Janjal, who keeps cows. Go to him and you will get the milk you are in need of." Pinocchio ran all the way to Janjal's house, who asked him, "How much milk do you want?" "I want a tumblerful." "A tumblerful of milk costs a halfpenny. Begin by giving me the halfpenny." "I have not even a farthing," replied Pinocchio, grieved and mortified. "That is bad, puppet," answered the gardener. "If you have not even a farthing, I have not even a drop of milk." "I must have patience," said Pinocchio, and he turned to go. "Wait a little," said Janjal. "We can come to an arrangement together. Will you undertake to turn the pumping machine?" "What is the pumping machine?" "It is a wooden pole which serves to draw up the water from the cistern to water the vegetables." "You can try me." "Well then, if you will draw 100 full buckets of water, I will give you, in compensation, a tumbler of milk." "It is a bargain."